We welcome everyone here tonight to our Carbon County Board of Commissioner meeting. This is March 3rd, 2021. I would ask you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item on our agenda tonight is Employee of the Month, Rose Barnes, our Human Resource Director.
I was telling Commissioner Martinez a few weeks ago that sometimes I get odd calls because it's human resources and people think that I have other information for them. So I can't help them. Although I did talk to Jerry today. She's going to help me.
Absolutely.
Our Employee of the Month this month is Alex Thane. She works out at the Recreation Center and Department, and she's been on our list forever. Last year when all the COVID stuff happened, there was an incident we had to evacuate because there was someone there that had active COVID, and of course at that time everybody was, panicked about everything. But I had parents call and ask if there could be some way for her to be recognized because she was very professional, evacuated the whole, softball arena, and she did an excellent job. And she was young and new into her job. So I apologize it's taken so long, but she's just been on the list. So I'm going to ask Alex to come up, and we want to thank her for that and for what she does at the rec. And Frank, did you want to come up and say something?
Alex does a great job. It's not often an easy task with recreation and dealing with angry parents, but she does a great job dealing with them and does it with class and always is understanding and finds the best solutions possible. So we're glad to have her. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thank you. I guess. It's been fun to work with the community and even through the ups and downs and be able to see the little kids and all the sports and get to know people around the community with this job. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. And what they're talking about too with the softball incident, I guess we could say, excuse me, it was handled very well. We did have an assistant coach that had tested positive for COVID, was out and about. So thanks for not causing too much of a panic out there and handling it in a professional manner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2 is a Super Service Award. Tina Henry.
Commissioners, Tina has asked that this be tabled until the next meeting. The vote happened and the tally didn't come in until today, or it was today, and so there wasn't time to reach out to the winner of the Super Service Award. So if we can bump that to the next meeting, that'd be great. I'll make a motion to table.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 3 is approval of February 17th, 2021 minutes. See any questions or corrections?
I didn't see any changes.
I didn't either.
I don't either.
I'll make a motion then that we approve the February 17th minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4 is open sealed bids for front-end loader for the Carbon County Road Shop.
Okay, we received 3 bids. First one's from Honan Equipment. Let Daniel look at it. This bid is for a 2014 year model John Deere 824K loader with a sale price of $200,400. It does include a maintenance record and the other criteria that we requested.
Okay, thank you. The second one's from Riverbend Machinery at Grand Junction.
It looks like there are two options listed here. A 2017 John Deere 844 front end loader. A sale price of $284,969.02. And also a 2016 Kawasaki front end loader. A sale price of $227,450. Maintenance records, pictures included for the John Deere and also for the Kawasaki.
This third bid's from Century Equipment Company out of Springville.
This is a case loader, an 1121G series with 500 hours. Sale price of $334,300. Does include specifications and maintenance records as well.
That's all of them? Okay, thank you. Maybe an explanation of this. Our road department requires several loaders for their normal operation of maintenance of our roads, and we had one loader give up on us last year, and we did not feel good about trying to buy one last year. We decided this year we needed to make sure and replace that one. So we advertised for a used loader, a machine that had less than 4,000 hours on it. So these probably reflect that, which cuts the price of that, of purchasing a loader, probably by 40 or 50%. But loaders, those types of machines usually can operate upwards of 10 to 12,000 hours without much trouble. So we've got some good life in a used machine. So any questions or?
And the funds were going to come.
Yeah, okay, the funds for this, the county has put money aside in the Class B road fund, which is money we receive from the state to help do some maintenance on our roads. And there was some money that's been put aside and saved that can only be used for work on Class B roads. So we took, I think, Seth, we took $250,000 and budgeted this year for the purchase of this loader out of our reserve account in that Class B road fund. Thank you for reminding me.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge the bids and turn them over for review and award to Daniel. Commissioner Jensen, do you want to be part of that? As
yes.
well as, is there anyone else that you'd like to be part of that?
We could have Curtis help us.
Okay. To the three of you for review and award.
And I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Daniel. Looks like we got some good options there. Item number 5 is open sealed bids for the weed department.
Looks like there's 5 bids for this. First one is from IFA of Price.
And I might mention even before you get started here is these are difficult to even try to go through here.
Yeah.
Where a lot of different chemicals that they use, and sometimes there's alternates, and so.
Yeah, there's quite a few listed, so that's IFA. We'll just, I guess, acknowledge that one.
You could probably just acknowledge those who send in the bids, and that's sufficient, because historically there's dozens of chemicals on this list, and some include some and some include others, and so it's impossible to really name them here.
And if I remember correctly, each chemical is awarded separately as per the price.
That's what we've historically done.
Okay.
Yeah. We can look and see later if any of them have said you have to take it as a package, but otherwise, that's what we've always reserved the right to do, is to take each chemical by itself.
Perfect. Thank you, Christian.
This one's from Daniel Gines, Target Specialty Products of Clearfield, Utah. This one's from Nutrient Solutions of Pocatello, Idaho. This one's from Adapco. And this one doesn't have a name on it. Let me see real quick. This one's from Viserys out of Murray.
And that's all 5 of them?
Yeah, that was all of them.
I'll go ahead and make a motion then that we acknowledge these 5 bids, and let Chris, Commissioner Jensen, and anybody else?
That's all.
Let Chris and Commissioner Jensen review and award the agreement.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. I think at this point, I've asked Commissioner Martinez to update us on our special meeting for March 11th before we get clear into our agenda.
Sure. No, thank you. We just want to get the word out and let folks know that we are going to have a special meeting in this chamber on March 11th at 6 o'clock. And what we're asking for, if citizens of the community have questions regarding the tax increase that we passed in 2020, that they write in questions to us. The reason for writing in the questions is giving us ample time to kind of gather the facts and the information that's needed to answer these. Some of the parts and pieces to these reasons why we've increased the tax rates cannot be answered in a simple one-sentence line. So we've asked that you could get these questions to us by this Friday, the 5th, and several ways you can get those to us. You can call them in. The phone number for that is area code 435-636-3226. You could mail them to the office here, which is 751 East, 100 North in Price, Utah, 84501. And also you could email, send an email to commission at at carbon.utah.gov. We plan on addressing as many questions as we can. Had a couple people already just come in and sit down and visit and wanted to kind of understand things. Had a couple people in my office, I think the other commissioners as well. And those people have left with kind of a better understanding of where we sat, what our view was on this, and what the need was. So I think it's important that we keep this open dialogue. And, you know, that's basically what we're here for, is to help answer any questions you may have. So,
Thank you. Would you like to add anything?
I don't think so. I think that was a good explanation. Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is item 6, consideration and possible approval of payment plan on delinquent taxes on the property at 118 Palmer Street, Helper, Utah, for Jarrett and Mercedes Oberto. I met with Mrs. Oberto and would like to, I don't know, maybe, is there any reason maybe to review again what we're doing? Christian, could you do that for us, please?
Sure. There is a statute, Commissioners, that states that a taxpayer who is delinquent on any portion of his taxes, whether that be 1 year or 5 years, can petition the county legislative body, which is you, the county commissioners, for a deferral or a reduction in the amount owed. So you have the option to either defer the amount owed to give them some more time to pay it, or to reduce the amount owed. The statute says you have the right to consider that, and whether it's in what the statute says, the best human interests. So you have broad discretion to deal with taxpayers who come before you, who submit a request to you in writing for a reduction of their for a reduction or deferral of their outstanding property tax payments. You can defer any amount you wish, and you can set up payment plans. The statute states that if you do grant a deferral or a reduction, that's to be put in writing, and statutory interest has to accrue at the federal funds target rate. So you have the right to consider that. You're not. You have broad discretion to set up the terms that might apply in each of those cases, and that's kind of where we're at here.
Maybe a little explanation on the process of how long the county has to wait to act on taking a home.
Sure. So
for a tax sale.
So you have, once a tax becomes delinquent for 5 years or more, the county can then sell that property at its annual tax sale that occurs in the month of May each year. Any taxes paid on delinquent bills go to the most recent tax owing. So what may happen is somebody might come in with a small amount they'd like to apply, and that doesn't get them away from still having taxes outstanding for 5 years, because any taxes you bring in to pay are statutorily only go against the most recent tax year. So if a sale proceeds, what we do is we determine who all the lien holders are of the property. We determine who any owners are, give them notice, let them know that they're now at 5 years of delinquent taxes, let them know it's going to be sold. They're given notice of the date and time of the sale, and they have the right to come and redeem it just about right up to the time of the sale by paying the costs of the sale and any penalties and interest owed and all principal owed. If they don't come in and redeem it, or if they don't make an arrangement with you to obtain a deferral, the property proceeds to sale. It's sold at auction, and the highest bid wins. And the money, the minimum bid is always the amount of taxes owed together with penalties and interest and costs of the sale. The county recoups that money, and if there's any excess, then it goes to the Unclaimed Property Department of the state of Utah. If a property is sold, well, if there's no bidders for the property, then the county can strike the property to itself and become the owner of that property. So 5 years is the absolute limit that somebody can allow an unpaid property tax bill to go before the county will proceed to sale.
Thank you. I might mention too that our county treasurer, who is an elected official, works really hard to work with people and keep them from being 5 years delinquent. And the numbers that are 5-year delinquent are actually fairly small in the county. So with that in mind, a little history on this parcel. It's a home in Helper. The taxes annually are about $630. The taxes were not paid in 2016, but in 2017 they did pay their taxes. In 2018, 2019, and 2020, the taxes were not paid. So the total amount owed right now is $2,226.81. A little history now on the family. In 2016, Mr. Oberto had back surgery. In 2018, he had an additional back surgery. In 2019, he had 2 back surgeries, which has thrown the family into some problems with him being able to work. And at this point, he's now disabled and unable to work. His wife has now gone to work and came in yesterday and wanted to try to work something out so they don't lose their home. They have 3 small children. They're hoping to receive approval to get on Social Security disability, but that has not happened yet. So her offer was to pay $200 a month, which would probably put them well into 2022 before they would catch up. So that's a bit of the history for this family. So I guess we have several options. We can set up a scheduled or defer this for a couple of years. We could reduce the tax. We've done 3 of these this year already, 2 private homes, 1 business. This is this family's primary residence.
Yeah, and I will note too that each case we take on its own merit. It's not because we've done one thing for one person, we do the exact same thing for another. Excuse me. So we will take each one of these case by case.
I'm inclined to kind of stay a little bit consistent with what we've done with the past. Help them on a payment plan. I think that $200 a month is a fair payment plan, and so we've always set a deadline, kind of when we would look at it again, and expect the taxes to be caught up. And I think with paying this year's and 2022's, it'll still be somewhat of a burden. But if they think they can do that, I would make a motion that we defer the taxes to 2022, allowing them to make $200 monthly payments to get caught up by November of 2022.
So a motion?
And before
Any
seconding
discussion?
that, there would also be a letter or an agreement put in place that would be drafted by you, Christian, or your department anyway. And,
Mhm. Yes, we do have to have this agreement in writing, and they have to sign off on it, and so we will memorialize it with an agreement, yes.
and then there'll be any kind of default language in there as far as any kind of
Yes.
payment. So,
Yes.
okay.
Mhm.
All right. I will second Commissioner Hopes' motion.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 7 is adoption of the Carbon County Vehicle Use Policy. Rose, we'll have you come back and help us with this one.
So Commissioners, as you know, we've had a lot of hearsays about what to do with our vehicles and how employees use them, so we decided that we actually needed something formal so everyone's on the same page. So this has been drafted. Lynn also reviewed this, Christian, and made a few minor changes to the policy. We want to look at the assignment and use of vehicles, who's qualified and authorized as employees to use vehicles. You know, we want to make sure that employees recognize the fact that this is still county property. It belongs to the county. There are specifics on care and use, personal use, what happens if they're involved in an accident, tickets. So, you know, I think it's a pretty straightforward policy, and I think it's well needed for the county. So, and I know you have all been able to review this as well.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about it?
I don't have any.
No, I don't either. So I'll make a motion that we adopt the Carbon County Vehicle Use Policy.
Thank you. This will
second
be a
that.
standalone policy.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 8 is ratification of the interlocal cooperation agreement with Wellington City. Todd Thorne, county planner. Kind of like the wedding planner.
I won't sing, though. So we have interlocal agreements with several cities to do their building inspections. So we haven't renewed them since 2007. So we're in the process of working with the communities to renew those. So we've worked with Wellington to standardize the building inspections so that it's a little bit easier to track. And so we don't have as much back and forth paperwork on inspections that were conducted. So it's just fix them up a little bit and readopting them so that we have a new agreement in place moving forward. So we'll be working with Helper. We have an agreement with East Carbon City and also with Schofield Town to do their inspections.
So they're small enough, they don't have a full-time inspection or inspector, so they have us help them.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions about this interlocal agreement?
I don't have any questions.
No, Wellington City is reviewed and
They approved it a couple weeks ago. So they didn't have any questions or concerns. So we're just bringing it here to ratify the agreement.
I'll make a motion that we ratify the cooperation agreement with Wellington City.
and I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Todd. Item 9, consideration and possible approval of the memorandum of understanding with the Rio Theater. Mayor Peterman.
Good evening. Yes, sir. The Tax Advisory Board reviewed an application we put forth to match some previous funding we had achieved from Eccles Foundation for $25,000, $10,000 from the Helper Project, and then $5,000 from a local mortgage company. So we had asked the Tax Advisory Board to consider $10,000, which would give us a total of $50,000 to improve sound, lighting, and overall facility improvements. And the Tax Advisory Board approved the application, and we are now before the commissioners seeking your approval as well.
Thank you.
Commissioner, I've been attending those meetings as part of my responsibilities. I think this is a good opportunity that the company that is helping has the opportunity to bring in lots of concerts and And this will allow them to be able to host those concerts, and it'll be a good addition to our community. It'll help be a draw. I think it's a good project.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you guys have done up there with your leadership and just try to continue to make some good improvements up there. I think everybody's ready to get out and about, so the timing on this is really good. So unless there's any other comment, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the memorandum of understanding for the Rio Theater.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
You'll all be invited to the April 10th public showing. It's going to be amazing, and we actually have a music festival person coming in that hosts them, wanting to do something here in Utah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Great
Thank
job.
you, Mayor, for all you do. You're the lowest paid public servant in the county, I am sure, for the number of hours you put in. Item 10 is consideration and possible approval of Miles Partnership Contract. Is that Tina?
Commissioners, this is an agreement between the county and Miles Partnership for our Google program support services. So I applied for this with the Utah Office of Tourism Cooperative Marketing Grant for 2020 that was approved, and we received the $8,000 in funding. This is a one-to-one match, so the county would pay $4,000, Utah Office of Tourism would pay $4,000, but our match will be met with the Coal Country Strike Team monies. So this is just the agreement between them and the county.
Perfect. Thank you for dogging this and putting it together.
Yeah, thanks for your
questions,
your effort on that. And if there's no comment, I'll make a motion that we approve the Miles Partnership Contract.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Item 11 is consideration and possible approval of the Utah Division of Recreational Fiscal Incentive Grant Agreement.
Awesome. Another grant. So I became aware of this grant when I was a part of the Big Ride Utah this year, and interacted with the Utah Division of Parks and Recreation and found out more information about their fiscal incentive grant and seen it as an opportunity. In order for us to gather visitor information in 9 Mile Canyon, we currently don't have anything in place. And because we have the connecting trails through Dry Canyon and Cottonwood that goes over Bruin Point, and a lot of off-road vehicles are using that, I see it as an opportunity to write the grant to ask for trail counters so that we can monitor the usage of those trails, see how, count how many people are coming in, how often they're being used, but it'll help us determine long-term planning for additional trails or maintenance that will be needed on those trails. So first time applying, we received the grant, so that's super exciting. The total amount is $3,221, and the county's match is 31%, which will be done in-kind work from the BLM, and then also our Carbon County Road Department will help with installation of those. So this is the agreement between the county and Utah Division of Parks and Recreation.
Any questions?
Nope, I'll just add that I think this is a great opportunity to kind of understand who our visitors are a little better and how often they're visiting, and be able to market and target them a little more so we can actually bring more tourists in. I think this is a great, thanks for putting this together.
Okay.
You have a motion?
I have nothing, but I'll make a motion. How about we approve the approval of the Utah Division of Recreation Fiscal Incentive Grant?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tina.
Thanks, Tina.
I might give you a little information. In 9 Mile Canyon, our road department discovered a very large part of a cliff had fallen off and fell down close to the road, and in close inspection of it, it had rock art on it. The rock art was facing up, and so our road department is in 9 Mile Canyon this week doing road repairs, and they actually kind of chipped on that rock to a point where they could physically move it upright and get it out of the road a little bit. So right now it's setting on the edge of the road so people can see it up close. It fell off a fairly high spot on the cliff. Yes. Yeah, come up to the mic so everybody can hear.
With that being said, I just wanted to add that the road department, when that happened, contacted BLM and their archaeologists to make sure, before they handled the rock art, to see what was the appropriate way to take care of it, and come to find out it was a private landowner that they needed to contact. So I just wanted to let everybody know that everything was practiced safely before that was moved, before it was moved. So
yeah, that was, thank you for adding that. The BLM was involved in that. So okay, item 12.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.